All right, Sheriff, let's talk a little bit about the game, man. You were down there. It was a big moment for our guys. Our guys were undefeated through the whole season.
Yep.
They played great. And talk about what it was like to be there, what the crowd was like. I mean, they were at the Florida A&M Stadium, which is so big time. You know, a lot of these guys, that's as big as it's going to get
by far.
For so many of for everybody, that's as big as it's going to get.
Completely agree.
And so cool.
If you're okay with it, I'll actually start back to the send off. And I had a couple of people call me and saying, "Sheriff, you're giving police escorts for high school football teams." You're darn right we are.
Absolutely.
St. John's County, not just high school football teams, bands that are going to state competitions and ROTC and swim teams, volleyball, basketball. I think that's a special moment for our youth here in St. Johns County, and also gives it lowers those barriers of our law enforcement that with our young adults too, because they're going to be part of our society down the road. So that was powerful that day. But yes, we do that across the entire county, which everybody has seen. So
if we can do it for bicyclers, we can do it for kids who are going to state.
And I had more parents call me and say, "Hey, it's little things in life, Sheriff." And maybe you were stopped at a red light for 2 extra cycles, for goodness sakes, but I think you'll get over it. But with that being said, Kendall and I went up there yesterday with Director Scott Beavers. You know, he's a St. Augustine High grad. So we got up there yesterday, of course, and the FAMU Stadium is beautiful. That artificial turf up there. It's a newer field, newer stadium. Just a lot of people from both sides. Of course, it's a close rival because it's right there, just down the street in Daytona Beach.
Right.
But anyways, we got there, and to start the game off, Trenton Carter ran back. I think it was 93 yards, and I coached that kid. He's a special kid in my life, along with his brother, little Tomas Jones. But anyway, so he runs it back from a touchdown and electrifies the audience there. We were standing on the sideline, and just you could feel the power, and it just shut down the other side of the stadium. Which of course were the visitors from mainland. Anyways, then we had a scoop and score by Marquise King. I think actually picked it up.
That was great.
Another, I got this, and I think, Coach Braddock, man, you've done a phenomenal job with these young men. I mean, these kids are just great kids, and I'm envious of you and the program you run. But with that being said, Marquise King picks it up and just electrifies the stadium. We go into halftime at 13-zip, and I'll tell you what, the offense. I think the offense from the get-go knew that this is one of the best defenses in the country.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, when I read the Blue Report, there were 7 kids, I think, that are committed or looking at D1 programs. Wow. I'm talking big D1 programs on the mainland side. So again, you probably had one of the best offenses in the state against one of the best one of the defenses in the state. So we knew it was going to be a battle down the road. So offense, sputtered a little bit in the very beginning. Devontae Lyons, of course, the kid's a stud, man. But you got 6 people on that defensive line that are going to play D1 ball.
Yeah.
So that being said, again, some challenges. I knew Coach Braddock and his coaching staff were going to go back into halftime, get a game plan in place. Sure enough, they came back out. Of course, the ball was in the Buccaneers. They had the ball after halftime, and they scored on their opening drive. That number 14, I can't remember his name for the Buccaneers, but without that kid, he's almost a one-man. I hate to say it, and this is no disrespect to that program because it's a phenomenal program, but that kid truly was a one-man show for the most part for the Buccaneers, and just had a hard time containing him, because the kid was, in pass protection. Next thing you know, he's a busted play, and the kid is running, 15, 16 yards, for a first down. So, again, they scored. I think Carl Jenkins Jr., I think, scored on a pass play, I believe is what it was.
Great pass from Lachlan Hewlett. That kid Lachlan is a heck of a quarterback, man.
Yeah, they just got, they got so much depth in town on that St. Augustine High School. Always have, but Braddock really has pulled it together with those kids. They're just a gifted bunch of kids. Defense really stepped up too as well. Julian Quintero and I played for me at Pedro Menendez High School, so another special moment with him, and had a phenomenal game. Those kids did a great job, and literally we were down in the I think it would be the west end zone, and the 2 seconds remaining, they drove down, and the kid that was kicking for Buccaneers had no success really throughout the night. Right, and here's the pressure. Coach Braddock iced him, called timeout. As they snapped the ball. On the first attempt, went to timeout, came back out, and the kid kicked it to the uprights, of course, and it ended up being 21-19. And hate to see it for the St. Augustine, High School Yellow Jackets. These kids are great. The cheerleaders, the fans, administration that was there. They had a lot. I would say our crowd, to be honest with you, was probably bigger. Not twice as much, but darn close to it. Then, of course, the visitors are the other, the Buccaneers.
Looked like a huge
great
crowd
game
from what I saw. Yeah.
I was texting Tomas Senior last night, and the video of that run back on the first play of Trent, when they were heading to the halftime, Trent, remember, gave a big hug. Just love those kids, man. And I've had the blessing in St. Johns County to coach at numerous programs. And a lot of those kids, we all bleed with each other, because we cross each other's paths across the coaching thing. So just did a phenomenal job. I hate to see, because that is a championship football team. St. Augustine High School Yellow Jackets this season is a championship football team. Yeah. And they deserve to win that football game. And I found out afterwards that the other team lost last year by 2 points in the state championship game.
Really?
I didn't verify that, but I heard about that. So again, Coach Braddock, you and your players, you keep your heads up, man. That's I would say that Buccaneers program, they came out a second half team, and you guys stood up and played the ball game the entire time, and you deserve the win. But again,
did you get to see the team afterwards? What's morale like?
Those kids, man, those kids have been knocked down in life numerous times. Where last year, as with the playoff games and stuff like that. But those kids will pick it back up. A lot of them are juniors that are coming back again, including.
Good to know.
Yeah,
okay.
Lachlan actually is a junior too as well.
God bless him.
But you got Devontae and some of the other seniors and stuff that will move on to other programs. But that program has so much depth. I believe we will see that program right back in Tallahassee again at FAMU Stadium, Bragg Field again.
Name it and claim it. Let's go.
Yeah. So as a coach yourself, what do you think Coach Braddock told the guys after that game? What are you doing as a coach to kind of say, hey guys,
Sure.
What are you telling these guys?
Well, this is my thing, and I know Coach Bragg does this, but they are in the state championship because they're a class act. They're well coached. Brandon James and I go way, way back. He's the offensive coordinator. He called one heck of a ball game, against a very stout defense. But that's where Coach Bragg gets him back in the ball field, saying, we're short, but keep your heads up. You played a great game. You played positive. There was I don't think I saw one unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, unless it was a hit or something like that. But our kids were stepping up. The other team was definitely talking more trash than our team was. Our kids were fired up. The Jackets were, but they play class football. But I think Braddock goes in that locker room and tells them that, say, you deserve to win that title, but we came up just a little bit short, and it happens. There's a winner and loser in life, right? And in this situation, we were the loser, per se. But with that being said, hold your head up high, because you're one of two programs left in the entire state of Florida in 3S that gets to play on that football field. And what it did yesterday, I saw so many, I know a lot of recruiters from a lot of local colleges from colleges. I couldn't tell you, Kendall and I were talking about probably 15 to 20 college recruits, coaches on our side of the ball. I can't tell you what was on the other side. So what you did was you showcased who you are and the talent you have and the class act you are. And I'm looking forward to your next chapters in your life. That's what you tell them.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah. Phenomenal game.
Yeah.
But that's what it's supposed to be.
Exciting game to watch and listen to. Yes, it is.
Yeah. What that showed was, I'm not a fan of everything FHSAA does, but I believe this has worked. When you have I hate when you go to the state championship and it's a blowout, 21-0. That's not right.
Yeah.
When you go to a state championship and win by 21-19, win or lose, you just show the state of Florida that you are the two best programs in the state of Florida.
100%. No,
I'll tell you what, those two teams right there yesterday, I guarantee they could probably give a run for the money, if not beat. Well, they have throughout the year. 4 S teams, 4 U teams, 5.
Yep.
These kids are talented, man.
Yeah.
God bless them and proud of them. And keep your heads up, man. I'm proud of you. So I was texting this morning some of them. So
good.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Hey, another great event that I know you were at just before you headed out to Tallahassee. Chris Shee's Clays for a Cause.
Yeah, actually.
Boy, they raised a ton of money for great organizations.
And I know Clay was out there too as well, but I tell you what, every year, and I want to say they're, if I'm not mistaken, I heard yesterday they were about $1.5 million of giving back to local not-for-profits.
Yeah.
And here again yesterday, full house, sold out, a lot of energy out there, a lot of local support out there, a lot of people that all of you know, and for a good cause. And that Chris Shee, and Mastercraft Builders and his entire team around him, they got a gift of giving.
Yeah, they do.
It's pretty powerful out there. So if I'm not mistaken, what I heard yesterday was around $350,000 given back to not-for-profits in St. Johns County. So great. We were supposed to shoot, Kendall and I, and then of course with the game up in Tallahassee, we wanted to get there on time and support our kids. And so Scott Beaver and I and Kendall headed up there right after we came to opening ceremonies yesterday. But great turnout, great weather. It was perfect. God watches over good things, and just a great thing happened yesterday once again. And we benefited too. Chris surprised us. Surprised us with a $10,000 check, which is really good for us as we move forward with building our new complex for our kids here in St. Johns County. So exciting day. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
Really cool. Really big day. Our friends at Jimmy Jam.
Oh yeah.
Got a nice check that's going to help them help
huge
hundreds of people here in our community.
That Jimmy Jam story is Jeff Gatlin that's a good.
It's
someone's yard.
Yeah.
Someone's front yard, you know, a barbecue.
Yeah. Made $1,000 and thought they were like, you know,
on top of the world.
Yeah. I think remember they tried like 2 years ago to Trout Creek. Is that the same event?
Yeah.
It just was like, no way.
It was too much. It was too much for Trout Creek. Trout Creek is huge.
You got fussy because it was too much traffic on the road.
It was horrible.
You guys had to shut down the roads for a little while.
We did Port Rainy Ringhaver, you know, and David Albany, you know, the owners of Ring Power were like, hey, this can't happen out here, man. This is not the place for this out
Nobody
here.
expected that.
Yeah, but it's pretty powerful. But that just shows you that the things we do in St. Johns County as a community is so special. And maybe this goes on across the country, but I don't think it goes on like here.
It doesn't.
I just don't think
it doesn't.
I don't think it does either.
That's why there's, you know, I say this all the time, but it really is true for not only myself, but so many people. You know, after high school, so many people left and they said, I'm going to take on the world. I'm going to do this. I'm going to move to the big city. And people get into other places and they're like, oh, home is way better than it is out here. And so many people they come right back. They're gone for 2 years and they're like, man, I couldn't take it. I had to be back here.
Same thing too. You know, just this year, I was actually selected to go to Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, to Quantico up at the FBI Academy. And they selected 25 sheriffs from across the country.
Wow. Congratulations.
It was crazy.
That's a big deal.
And as a sheriff sitting up there representing the state of Florida, I mean, I heard from the sheriff that represents Milwaukee, which is Milwaukee County, of course, and King County, which is Seattle. Both of those are black female sheriffs, and another female sheriff from Los Angeles and other parts of the country. I sat there. I didn't have anything to share with what they were sharing about budgets being cut. Physically, I thought defunding the police was just a word. Just a phrase. Right. And then I sat there listening.
Because we didn't see that sentiment here at all.
We didn't see it here. You know, yes, our county commission holds us accountable for our budget, but they don't defund the police.
Right, yeah.
But I sat there listening. This was just a few months ago. I sat there in a room with 25 other sheriffs going, I had a sheriff from Milwaukee sit there and tell me that her budget was cut $23 million. She was going home to cut staff. Milwaukee, United States of America.
Wow.
And again, I sat there. So I feel like this whole story here we're talking about today, of course, with Clays for a Cause and Jimmy Jam and all of the great things we do in this county, it's a special place to live. And that's why I don't take for granted being the sheriff here. I will not ever take for granted being the sheriff here because, yes, I understand we do have controversial things go on. That's what happens in life, but not like the rest of this country.
That's true.
No,
it's crazy. It's a special place. It really is a special place.
A great day yesterday.
Yeah, great day for a lot of reasons. Hey, let's get to tomorrow. You guys have a Christmas event going on tomorrow.
We actually do tomorrow. Again, very similar. We talked about this during the haunted jail, experience where let's do something else, for the holidays. We're the safest place for your kids to come, of course, and see Santa and some other, role players per se, in the Christmas world. So tomorrow night, I got 5:30 stuck in my head. I gotta look at the time.
Okay.
We'll put it. Can you post it for me?
Oh, we've been
Paray's going to text one of us here in a second. I know it. I know it.
This is the ho 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 event, right?
Yeah, goodness
That's
gracious.
right. The SJS ho ho ho.
Yeah, they said who thought of that. And I was like, actually, I did.
Well, they should not let you think of things in the future.
5 to 8.
People thought that I was calling you a ho when we first talked about this. Seriously.
Are these Bounty? They pick right up.
Picker upper. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah.
I just spilled my coffee. Didn't see that. I apologize. It's a clear lens.
You could have just played it off. Your lens is so good.
I got to go transparency for goodness sake.
Look at that. They can't even see the coffee cup. They would never have known.
But anyway, so 5 to 8 tomorrow night, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. A lot of things going on there. We hear it's going to snow. Of course, bubbles. Don't get too excited. But Santa, Jack Frost, Buddy the Elf, just some fun things to do with a very secure area like we did with the haunted jail. So that's all just a good.
So you guys have a 360 igloo. This is a very, very cool thing.
Listen, they've been talking about this thing for 2 days. For goodness sakes, I've seen pictures and photos.
You literally crawl through it, but it's like a really cool selfie kind of moment.
Yeah.
It's
glows.
Yeah, glows. Yeah. It's very cool.
Yeah, pretty powerful. Yeah.
Wow.
So again, this is all not for profit. People, of course, our community partners out there just continue to donate and give to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, but they know where it's going. It's going back to our community. So again, this isn't a taxpayers funded event. It's actually just on taxpayers' property.
Okay.
But in front of the old jail. So
that shows the kind of support your sheriff's office has because people are willing to step up and support these events. And these events are not small little rinky-dink events.
No,
it's not a bounce house and a face painter and that's it. You guys have a lot going on at these things.
But it's that community partnerships once again. It's those community partnerships coming forward. Because yesterday I saw a tractor trail pull up with a bunch of lumber on them. I said, where is that going? donated by some local builders here in St. Johns County for the event tomorrow night. So
cool.
again, nothing coming out of the taxpayers' dollars. So just, I think it's the right thing to do too as well.
How fun.
Yeah, excited
Very
about
cool.
it. The problem is there's so many events going on this weekend.
Holy guacamole.
Yes, I got my running shoes on, so we are making a pit stop, Kendall and I. Tonight is a bad night. We've probably got 4 events back to back where we were physically running from event to event. So,
I hear ya.
yeah.
Mark Bailey just got an award over at YMCA.
YMCA? Yeah.
And literally he got
that's
up
right.
with his speech and he was like, I am so sorry, but I literally have to duck out of this event to go to the next
somewhere else.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, it's really truly how you have to hold it down.
There's a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
A lot going on. We're at Santa Suits on the Loose tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow
Yes,
morning,
sir.
bright and early. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to be
Goodness
there.
gracious.
Yeah, man. Right at the pier.
See, I don't look at my calendar till nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same. What am I
Figure it
doing
out.
tomorrow? Yeah.
Mine was driving home from a football game last night with everybody else in my car sleeping and me trying to go through my calendar trying to find.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
All right.
That Tallahassee drive is miserable.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah.
I don't
Why?
get it. There's nothing on I-10.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
There's
man,
nothing to
that's-
see. It's a
No.
long
You
drive.
get by Lake City and it's like pine trees.
When I
but-
first moved here, I-10, I mean, I was on fumes. And I was sweating just because I needed to get gas and there's like nothing there to
There's
get.
yeah.
You really can't.
There's a busy bee now.
Okay. Excuse me. No, that's an advancement from the last time I
Busy bee.
left the fish tank. So yeah.
Anyways,
and the hills. It's the only hills we have in
we're
Florida.
getting a lot done. We're doing good today.
Look at that.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
We've covered 3 topics in a
Outstanding.
half hour.
Yeah, we're going to get to the mayor and the vice mayor of the beach. Watch this.